Today, I'm going to show you how to pack for a 2-week trip to Europe in a carry-on using the 5-4-3-2-1 method. I'll show you exactly what I'm packing, how I'm packing it, and how you can adjust this method for your trip, even if you're only going for 10 days or a full month or even longer, because I'm actually going for closer to 3 weeks. I'm also going to throw in some tips for different seasons and regions and trip styles. Plus, I also made a downloadable checklist for you to keep you organized and make sure you have everything you need. Let's start with luggage. For this trip, I'm using the Monos carry-on. It's sleek, sturdy, and I've used it in Europe before. It holds up well and it fits most airline size restrictions. If you want something lighter though, the Bric carry-on is a great choice. It weighs just 5.5 pounds or 2.5 kilos, and I featured it on my channel before and it holds up well if you want to know more about that bag. Other solid options include the Travelpro, which weighs about the same, or the Antler carry-on, which is even lighter at 4.19 pounds or 1.9 kilograms, as well as the hardshell version, which weighs 2.6 kilograms or 5.7 pounds. I recently purchased each of these to test out because of their perfect sizing for European and Australian airlines. If you prefer a more backpack-style carry-on, I would suggest the Tomtoc or Tortuga. Any of these would be a great choice because I think they all strike the right balance between size, weight, and durability. All of these bags have a very similar footprint, but for whatever reason, I seem to be able to fit the most in the Monos carry-on. I'm going to pack everything up into each of these bags later on in the video so you can see how they all compare. For my personal item, I'm bringing the Away Everywhere bag. I love the size and format of this bag. I think it pairs nicely with the Monos because it slides perfectly over the trolley handle and it sits well on top. It's slightly structured so it holds its shape, but it does have some give if you need it. The wraparound zipper makes it really easy to open and grab what you need quickly from the spacious compartment. It's perfect for tech, toiletries, and the things that I want to reach for during my flights. For my day bag, I'm using the Low & Sons Pearl Crossbody in black. It's great for travel because it can hold a lot in the 2 zippered compartments, and it's also got a middle open section. I love that it transitions from day to night because I can convert the strap into a wristlet or unhook it to secure it around a chair when I'm sitting at a cafe or a restaurant. In crowded areas, I'll tighten it and wear it as a crossbody closer to my chest. If you want a more casual crossbody or sling bag, I really like the ones from Nomad Lane. They make a small and a large version, and I use the large one in Portugal. It holds a lot while still feeling minimalist and sleek. But here's a little pro tip for you. I'm actually going to use the large Nomad Lane sling bag as my tech bag because then it can also double as a more casual bag for days where I don't want to run my purse. Ideally, I would have my pearl bag in a different color. It also comes in beige and brown and burgundy colors. And then that way I essentially have 2 crossbody bags to choose from. And I know Quince also makes a similar bag to the pearl, but I can't get it because they don't ship to Canada. And as always, you can find all the links to everything I'm talking about in this video in the comments or by scanning the QR code as well. Before we get to close, let's go over some small but very important things that make a big difference, especially for international travel. A power bank. This is a must-have for travel days, especially if you have layovers and just for exploring. I use my phone a lot for filming and Google Maps and taking photos, so I always keep a power bank and a short USB-C cord in my purse. Then we have a travel power adapter. This one isn't a voltage converter though, so make sure you double check if your devices need a converter and an adapter. I'll leave a link to this one and my favorite converter as well. And a phone wrist strap. This is a must-have for walking through busy areas, but also great for sightseeing, like visiting castles, so I don't drop my phone if I'm taking a photo near a high ledge. It also comes with a neck strap too, which I used when I was kayaking in the Algarve to the Benazil cave. That thing saved me. And something you really don't want to forget is an eSIM. I'm using the Sling eSIM for this trip because I don't want to worry about extra roaming fees or sketchy or spotty Wi-Fi. Sling is kindly sponsoring this video, which I'm really happy about because their eSIM is so user-friendly. I can set it up and buy my data before I leave, so the second I land in Europe, I'm already online. As soon as I'm through customs, I can pull up Google Maps, book an Uber, or check my email and WhatsApp right away. That's a big deal because a lot of my accommodations send the self-check-in code the day I arrive, so it's nice to get online immediately to make sure there's no issues. Setup is super easy. It literally took me less than 2 minutes. And one of the things I really like about Sling is that they only charge you for the data you actually use. Their plans are usually cheaper than other eSIM options, and you'll never be caught off guard. When you hit about 80% of your data, the app lets you know so you can top up in just a few clicks. It works in 190 countries, and you can choose from country-specific or regional plans depending where you're going. And if you're going on multiple trips over the year or the coming years, you just need to download the eSIM once and then choose your plans before you go on your trip. To get the Saily eSIM, just go to saily.com/AllieSmalls like you see on the screen, or scan the QR code. You can buy the plan that you need on the website, download the app, follow the instructions, and you're good to go. If you have any specific questions about using the eSIM, drop them in the comments and I'll be sure to read and respond to them. Now let's break down the outfits. This is where the 5-4-3-2-1 method comes in. The formula is 5 tops, 4 bottoms, 3 layers, 2 shoes, and 1 extra item, which can be either a dress or a swimsuit or something else. Here's what I'm bringing. 3 t-shirts, 2 tank tops, 4 bottoms, which are 3 pairs of shorts, and 1 pair of jeans. My 3 layers are a black cardigan, cream cardigan, and a light gray long sleeve. 2 pairs of shoes, and 1 swimsuit. And don't forget your travel outfit, which is what you don't need to pack. For this, I'm probably gonna wear my black joggers, a t-shirt, and a cozy sweater for the plane. And then that outfit doubles as my cozy lounge set for downtime during the trip. So 5 to 6 tops gives me a minimum of 5 days before having to do laundry. But realistically, it's closer to 6 or 7 or maybe 8 days because I will definitely be able to wear at least a couple of tops more than once, especially because some of the t-shirts are merino wool. Also, my jeans are from Halara, which are actually not really jeans at all. They're basically leggings or jeggings, so they're lighter, more flowy, and packed down much smaller than true denim. Now, let's talk about some things to consider. You can totally customize this based on your style.
Totally.
If you prefer skirts, flowy pants, or linen over jeans or shorts, go with it. The key isn't copying my exact outfits, it's sticking to the formula. This structure is meant to help you build a functional capsule wardrobe that actually works for your trip. Because the most important thing is to pack what you will actually wear. If you like it, pack it and wear it. For me, I'm going to be doing a lot of sightseeing and walking and exploring, maybe some light hiking and e-biking, so comfort and functionality matters for this trip. But if you're going somewhere like the Mediterranean in the summer, you can lean into more flowy pieces, shorts, or light dresses. If you're heading to Northern Europe or maybe Ireland in the spring or fall, what you could do is take out 2 pairs of shorts and the 2 tank tops and instead add in another pair of pants and 1 or 2 long sleeve shirts. And then, like I mentioned, I've got 1 swimsuit, 1 pair of pajamas, a bra, 6 pairs of socks and underwear, plus the ones I'll be wearing. So that's enough for 7 days. For accessories, everyone has their own personal taste, but I'm gonna go with a silk scarf and a belt. For shoes, I'm bringing a pair of sneakers for daily walking. These are going to be my workhorses. I'll wear these on travel days and for exploring. You really want to find something that you can walk 20,000 steps in, but also something that goes with everything and looks good dressed up or dressed down. There's some great options from Dr. Scholl's, New Balance, Puma, but you really need to find something that's comfortable for you. If you find a pair of shoes that you like, but you're not sure if they're gonna hold up or be comfortable for you, if you have access to a walking pad or a treadmill, something indoors, put those shoes on, walk, do at least 10,000 steps if you can, see how your feet feel. That way, if your feet are just absolutely killing you, you've only used them indoors and you can probably still return them. I'm gonna pack a pair of comfy sandals because I'm going in the summer. Something that I can walk in all day though. I really like my reef sandals because they're lightweight, waterproof, and versatile. And then if I have room, I might add a pair of flats for more variety. And then I'm also packing my lightweight travel slippers. And then a couple of days before my trip, I will check the forecast. And if there's any rain, I will pack a light rain jacket. I like this one that packs down super flat and it's very lightweight. For toiletries, I'm going to be using the tripped hanging toiletry bag. It's perfect if you end up in a hotel with 0 counter space. It hooks onto anything. All of my liquid toiletries go into the clear TSA bag that comes with it. Everything non-liquid like shampoo bars and toothpaste tablets, that goes in the main kit. I'm also throwing in a few things like pimple patches, blister strips, laundry detergent sheets, and suction hooks. And of course, my travel bidet. If you want to see the full list of all my toiletries that I'm bringing, I've got them written out on my blog post. For hair, I'm bringing my trusty old dual voltage hairdryer brush. I love this thing for Europe. A lot of you are going to be fine with a hotel hairdryer and a round brush, but this is what works best for my hair. So if you don't need it, don't pack it, and then that means you have extra space, maybe for a different hair tool like a straightener, or maybe you don't need anything at all. Then in my personal bag, I'll pack some smaller things. I've got my S-hooks to attach to my crossbody bag for safety from pickpockets, a packable tote bag, my sunglasses and sunglass case, a pack of compressible towels, my phone wrist strap, my phone, my wallet, and my passport. And then it'll be the items that I'll need for my long flights, which is my travel pillow, my foot hammock, compression socks, my noise-canceling headphones, and my AirFly to connect the headphones to the in-seat entertainment. Then I'll throw in a few personal wellness items like my water bottle, my cork lacrosse ball, some electrolyte packets, and some hygiene items. Now I'm going to pack everything up into the different suitcases to help you visualize how everything fits in different bags. For demonstration purposes, I'm not using packing cubes here so that it's easier to see what goes where, but for my actual trip, I will definitely be using my compression packing cubes. Starting with the monos, I'm using a mix of rolling or creating folded bricks out of my clothing and laying some flatter, softer pieces on top. This works really well with the compression pad that's built into the suitcase. You can also remove it if you don't want to use that. Then on the other side, my hair tool fits great, and I love how the slim packing cube fits the exact width on this side. After filling in the rest of my items, I feel like there was still a lot of space left over for a few more things, especially a few more pieces of clothing under the compression pad. And after it's all packed up, it weighs 8.3 kilograms or 18 pounds. Moving on to the Bric's carry-on, since it's a top-open design, I'm placing all of my clothes on the bottom half of the bag using a mix of rolling or bricking the heavier items, and then laying the flat items or softer clothes on top. I'm able to tuck my hair tool underneath and between the trolley bars. Then my sandals go on either side, and then I just kind of tuck everything else in. All packed up, I felt like there was still a lot of room available to pack more items. This bag was nowhere near stuffed. I could still fit in my rain jacket in here as well as a few other small things. Altogether, it weighed 16.8 pounds or 7.6 kilograms. Now the Travelpro. This is the 2-wheel 20-inch Max Light 5. This is very similar to the Brics, but a little bit wider. Again, I'm just packing everything up the same way so that you can see how it all compares. But for actual travel, I would use 2 packing cubes, which keeps everything a little tighter, more compressed, and creates a little more room. Then I'm tucking the hair tool between the trolley bars, and this slim packing cube once again fits so well along the top of the bag, like it was made for it. Then I'm tucking my sandals on the edges, and then again filling in the gaps with everything else. I feel like compared to the Brics, I had slightly more room to play with if I wanted to pack more in here, especially because of the expansion feature. And all packed up, it weighed 7.6 kilograms or 16.8 pounds, exactly the same as the Brics. Now the Antler soft-sided case. The first thing you'll notice is the lovely light-colored interior, which is perfect for packing. This bag has a pretty small footprint, but the main compartment is actually quite deep and roomy, because the overall shape is pretty boxy, which maximizes space, and the trolley handle is actually pretty flat as well. So with all of my clothes packed into the bottom half, I was able to slide my hair tool underneath, and then once again, the packing cube fits perfect at the top of the bag. And then with my shoes and toiletries packed, I still had this nice deep section relatively empty, so I feel like there was definitely a lot of space left over. On the other side of the mesh pocket, I fit my PJs, swimsuit, and accessories. And then all packed up, it certainly wasn't overstuffed. There was still lots of room to either squish into a sizer or add more layers of clothing. And fully packed, it weighs 15.5 pounds or exactly 7 kilograms. Next is the Antler hardshell case. It's clamshell style. Again, I really like this gray interior color. And for my clothes, I just went back to a mix of rolling and folding, basically making a flat surface for the clothes that don't roll well to be placed flat on top. And then in the other side, I've got my hair tool and undergarments cube, my toiletry kit sits at the top, and then my shoes and slippers. I then decided to put my PJs and swimsuit back on the clothing side. Again, I could have layered in a few more pieces of clothing and more on the other side. Also, this was the first time I packed up either of these bags, so this is just me raw dogging it without much thought. I think with packing cubes and a little more strategy, you can get a lot more in all of these bags, not just these 2. And it weighed a total of 7.4 kilograms or 16.4 pounds. Moving on to backpacks, this is the Tomtoc 40 liter. I struggled with this one a bit. The main compartment wasn't as big as I thought it would be. There are a lot of dividers and pockets all over this bag that eat up a little bit of the main compartment space, so I had to get a little creative with where everything fit. In the end, it did all fit. I didn't have to leave anything out, but I probably could have better utilized this bag by packing things into different areas. However, there was still room to fit more as it wasn't fully stuffed, and it weighed under 14 pounds or 6.3 kilograms. So there you go, if you have a weight limit, we are well under 7 kilograms. Then I tried the Tortuga 40-liter backpack. I'll say this right now, I like this a lot better than the Tomtoc. It opens clamshell, so this is much closer to the feel of an actual clamshell roller carry-on. Also, the light-colored interior is so nice to work with. Again, I packed this as closely as I could to all the other bags, and originally it looked like I wasn't going to have as much room, but the mesh pockets on the other side are extremely roomy, and I had lots more room to fit more clothes. So next time I would probably put more of my clothes on that side, which would open up more space in the open area. And once again, fully packed, this was still pretty slim, nowhere near full. It weighed 6.5 kilograms or 14.3 pounds. If you want more information on this bag or all of the bags, I've left links in the description and in the comments, or you can scan the QR code. And that's everything packed up and ready to go. Let me know where you're headed and what bag you're bringing. I love hearing how other people travel. And don't forget to grab your free packing checklist in the comments, check out my blog post for more details, and sign up for my email newsletter for updates and extra packing tips. And if you're traveling internationally, don't forget to grab your Saily eSIM by going to saily.com/AllieSmalls, and you can stay connected the second you land. And stay tuned for my Europe vlog. If you're signed up for my email list, you probably know where we're going. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.